How is it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well in these unusual and strange times. This is Anthony here, the Cubologist, believe it or not. Thank you so much for checking out my channel, and welcome to a brand new video for the first time in over four years. Wow, it's even crazier when I say it out loud. Long time no see. So I know I've got quite a few things that you probably want to hear me explain, and there's also a few things that I want to cover that aren't necessarily explanations, so I've decided to record a Megaminx average of 12 for you guys. It's going to be a lengthy one, and it's actually the longest video that's ever been posted on this channel, so I think that's fun and pretty appropriate given how long it's been since I posted. I decided to go with the most colorful WCA event, that way you are thoroughly entertained as much as possible while you're listening to me ramble on about various things. It's a pretty good session. It's not my best. It's definitely not my worst, though. I consider sub 1 to be pretty satisfactory, and so this is definitely a session that I'm happy with and comfortable sharing with all of you. And I wanted to show you that I am still cubing. I'm still very active in the sport, and yeah, I hope you all enjoy. All right, so first off, where have I been for the past 4 years? So in my last video, I announced that I would be leaving for China to go to medical school. And if you remember my setup from the last video, it's pretty obvious that this one is quite different. However, I'm not staying in a dorm at Sun Yat-sen University like I had planned 4 years ago. I'm actually at home in Southern California, where I have lived practically my entire life. Now, yes, I did actually go to Shanghai, China. I did not make that up whatsoever. I stayed there for a little less than a month before I realized it was pretty difficult to get by, even with a full scholarship and paid for Chinese lessons. It just so happens I wasn't ready for that level of independence yet. So, yeah, I went back home pretty quickly, and my family was happy, not to mention pretty relieved to have me back home, but I was feeling pretty down about everything. I mean, I had wasted a lot of time and money, and I really didn't know anymore where I was going to go to college or what I was going to do. I had no confidence, I questioned everything, and ultimately I just felt like a giant failure. But I knew I had to pick myself up off the ground. I knew that doing nothing just wasn't an option, so I enrolled at Chaffey College, which is a small community college slash trade school that I live nearby. I figured I'd save some money and get my general education classes done while I figured out exactly what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go in a couple of years. And looking back, that's really what I should have done to begin with. My parents and I both agree in hindsight that it was a pretty terrible idea for me, a 17-year-old kid fresh out of high school, to commit to staying 6 years in a country when I didn't know the language and when I had absolutely no experience living on my own. So at community college, I took that opportunity to grow into adulthood, and I took a couple of biology and chemistry classes along with my math and English and other general ed because I still fully intended on going into medicine. I mean, I was good at it, and I actually got offered a couple of tutoring positions in the chemistry department, but as it turns out, I really wasn't as interested in medicine as much as I thought. Uh, it was something I thought I wanted to do because, well, I was okay at it, and it would allow me to help people, which was something that I knew I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and it offered me a stable career. I really didn't want to have to worry about money, and so medicine offered me that, and it was very enticing. And my parents also had some influence because they wanted me to go into medicine for the same reasons. And I'm sure some of you have gone through similar things with your parents, meeting expectations. But I just couldn't see myself doing it as a career. I really don't like hurting people in any way. And so, injections and things like that freak me out a little bit. And so does the sight of blood. So I'm really not cut out for it. And the more I thought about it, the less it made sense for me to go into medicine. Come second semester, I decided to take 2 music classes since I really enjoyed music and the classes fulfilled general ed requirements. So it was kind of like, hey, why not? I get to take classes on a hobby that I really enjoy. And I was introduced to what I felt was this whole other world of education. I had only ever played guitar and sung a little bit for fun, so I remember my first thought being, wait a minute, I can do this as a career? And the next term, I just completely let myself get lost in this other world of mine. My schedule was exactly that of a music major's. I was taking music theory, I was taking piano and choir, music history, and classical guitar was my instrument. So I was getting private lessons every week and doing performances, the whole 9 yards, you know? And I also got a part time job tutoring math to kids from kindergarten to high school. So I imagined merging those two areas, music and teaching, doing something in music education. And I wasn't totally sure what the end result would look like, and I'm still not now. But I felt then that, I was headed for success, which was huge to me. I loved everything about what I was doing, and I was excited about learning new things, and I was doing well in the music program, and everything was going smoothly except for guitar. I picked guitar because I've been playing for over 10 years, and so I figured naturally that's what I would do. And I was still sure that I wanted to do music, but I really wasn't getting better at guitar, and I never looked forward to my lessons. And my faculty advisor picked up on this pretty quickly, and he asked if he could meet with me. And so we talked in his office, and apparently I had been showing a lot of promise in vocal performance during choir rehearsals, as well as a couple of collaborations with my other friends in the department. And he asked me to consider taking singing lessons the next semester, and that actually got me really excited. His best point was that I was a guitar major at the college, and yet I was singing more on campus than I was practicing guitar. And so the next semester felt so much better. Like this huge weight had just been lifted off of my shoulders. And in addition to my tutoring job, I also scored a job doing weekly rehearsals and performances with a nearby church choir. And once I finished the music program at Chaffey, I was offered the part time music tutoring position at that college. And that's actually where I'm still working today. Uh, in my last year at Chaffey College, I had auditioned at several universities and had gained lots of experience singing at several different churches in my area and with several different groups. So my experiences as a music major thus far have been nothing short of successful, and I can honestly say that pursuing music as a career is one of the best decisions, if not the best decision I've ever made. I would not have been happy in China, and had I stayed there, especially given the current circumstances with the pandemic, I don't even know if I would be alive today. And so I suppose the takeaway from all of this, possibly unnecessary information, is that you should definitely do your homework and figure out as early as possible what kind of career that you want to have, what you want to be when you grow up. Because I know that, some of my viewers are probably high schoolers or even middle schoolers. And so you might think it's not that important right now, but it definitely is important to think about what kind of career you want to have. Take up hobbies like cubing or whatever else interests you, because that's going to show you what you're good at and what skills and tools you have that you can use later on to earn a living. Um, you might not think it's that big a deal, but really it could save you lots of time and money, and ultimately it's going to set you up for success. It's always a good thing to plan ahead and really just try and get a leg up on the competition. So now you're probably thinking, okay, but like, where does cubing and making videos fall into all of this? Now, I remember in my last update that I said I would try to post every 2 weeks, and then I did exactly what I did the last time, not post anything whatsoever for a few years. And I had lots of my own reasons or excuses, if you will, for not posting anything. The main reason was that I was doing well in school and I really wanted to keep my grades up high, and I felt that coming up with ideas for new videos, filming, doing voiceovers, editing, etc., all of that was just really going to hinder me from my academic goals. And coming up with new ideas wasn't that easy either, as the number of YouTube cubing channels was growing pretty steadily. And these channels were being run by people I felt had better equipment, better editing skills, more money, better cubing techniques, sponsorships from cube stores, etc. And I just felt like I couldn't offer anything new to the community. And that was probably the most discouraging part of my fear of coming back, I guess. I had a pretty negative view of uploading my own content for the world to see. It's just I've never really been confident that my content was any good or that anyone really cared about it. And I looked at all the negative comments, and sometimes they seem to outnumber the positive ones, especially on the tutorials, which were my favorite part about this channel. And so I really had no motivation to post anything new on the channel because I felt that I had nothing new to add. I just let it go, and now I look at that as a mistake. I wonder where this channel might have gone had I stayed dedicated to it. And even if I didn't get a ton of subscribers, even if I really didn't get recognition, at the very least it would have been a lot of fun. So I'm very sorry to you all. I let the time pass with no uploads. It's definitely something that I regret. All right, now you also might be wondering, okay, but what made you come back? Well, I should mention that I never really put down the cube itself. I mean, it was a really good way for me to de-stress, and it was a neat conversation piece and a party trick. I'm sure all of you have shared experiences like that. It was definitely worth keeping around, and I don't think I'll ever stop cubing for the rest of my life, or at least that's a hope of mine. But I had somewhat kept up with what was happening in the cubing community, but not all that much. I wanted to post to YouTube, and I had some ideas floating around of what I would upload, but all those reasons that I had built up just came back to haunt me, and I let them do that for 4 years. And then the pandemic hit, and I started having more free time. May or may not have spent a little too much time on YouTube. But anyways, I started to notice that my subscriber count was actually going up, and I was very confused because I wasn't posting anything. So why were people expecting to see more? But they were, and I started looking through my videos, and my most popular one right now has some 300,000 views at the time of making this video, and I was blown away. That was amazing to me. And I looked through the comments, and I couldn't believe that there were people who posted recent comments asking me when I was going to come back, telling me you've got really good content and you should definitely keep posting. And that really pumped me up. And if you don't want to do something, or you're scared that you can't do something, you will come up with a million different reasons not to do that thing. And I noticed that a lot in my life, where I would just make excuses, and let those excuses keep me from doing things that I wanted to do, or things that I wanted to get good at some point. And so I've decided that I'm not going to let those excuses hold me back anymore. I'm recording with an iPhone, and I don't have the best lighting or the best sound or the best camera angles, but I'm working with what I've got, and that's good enough for me. And anyone else out there who is thinking about uploading their own content to YouTube, but maybe has some of the same fears that I had, don't let those keep you from posting. Don't let what you think is a lack of original content keep you from sharing your own unique experiences with the world, because they are unique. And you know what? You may help someone, or at the very least entertain someone else out there. And it doesn't have to be pretty right away, but you know what? It's a process, and you should definitely enjoy that process of going from nothing to something. So anyways, just recently, something amazing happened. I got an email from YouTube with confetti and everything, telling me that my channel just hit the 1,000 subscriber milestone. And I was just like, wow. Just wow. I remember starting this channel and getting excited when I had 6 subscribers. And now there's over 1,000 people who like my content enough to say that they want to see more. And you may not think that's a big number. It's actually not a big number, but it's absolutely amazing to me. I never thought this channel would make it anywhere near this far. And so I decided that if there was any reason to post, this was definitely it. You all deserve a huge thank you, and not just for the subscriber count, thrilled as I am about that, but I've known pretty much my whole life that I wanted to teach. And this channel was really my first experience getting to teach other people and help them learn something that they couldn't on their own. So I look at this channel as a really important stepping stone in my journey as being part of the larger educational community, if you will. It helped me to fulfill my dreams of becoming a teacher. You might think that's a stretch, but really, I wouldn't be able to say that were it not for all of you. So thank you for really making my channel what it is, something that I love and can be proud of. All right, so all of that mushy stuff is out of the way. The last thing I wanted to touch bases with y'all on is what can we expect from this channel? Can we expect anything from it? First and foremost, I don't want to make any commitments to regular uploads because it really hasn't worked in the past, so I really would just take it one video at a time. And the main reason, and also another important announcement, is that this fall, I've started attending the School of Music at the University of Redlands as a vocal performance major with an emphasis on education. So I'm very excited about where this is going to take me, where it's already taken me, and I really do want to make sure that I'm giving my education the absolute best effort, because private universities are expensive and I really need to be making sure that I am making the most out of this opportunity. And I'm going to be busy, and I hope you guys can understand that I'm a full-time student working a part-time job, and so if I don't have time to make videos, I simply will not make videos. I'm sorry. But I really do enjoy the activity, and apparently so do a lot of you. And so I'm really doing my best to keep that in mind and try to make time for videos, for all the processes that come with it. And I do still cube regularly, and it's a pretty huge part of my identity even now. It's helped me make friends in college. I'm pretty sure it helped me get my foot in the door with certain universities that I applied to, and it even helped me score some first dates. So there's that. But anyways, I owe a lot to the hobby and to the sport, and so I'm pretty sure that I can find opportunities for original content. Another thing that continues to bug me to post is the educational and in some cases mentoring opportunities and experiences that come with activity on this channel. And I really want you all to have a say in what kinds of videos are posted. I love doing tutorials, so if there's anything that you might like to see explained or a puzzle that you would like to see a few walkthrough solves on, I will definitely be listening in. Or if you like these kinds of commentary videos, where I talk about life, Q&A videos, I'm definitely open to those as well. I can't really do gear or equipment reviews because all of my money is going towards school expenses, food, rent, car payments. Yeah, this is what being an adult is like, kids. And I really can't keep up with all of the new Speed Cube Shop releases or the new MoU releases or whatnot. But if you have any ideas of things that you would like to see, ideas that I haven't mentioned thus far, please do let me know in the comments below. I will definitely be paying attention. And I think that about does it for this Megaminx average and this long overdue update on life. Once this last solve finishes up, I will show you the screenshot of this average with all my times for the session. If you like this video, please make sure to show your love by hitting the like button, and if you want to see more, please do hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks again for checking out this channel, and stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.